Just first.
I want to add that I really admire and respect the choice that y'all made to not put subtitles.
Yeah.
And to not use
that was
English.
a massive
I loved that.
massive discussion, right? And I have to admit, I have to out myself. I was the person who was the most worried because everybody read the play and they're like, fuck anybody who don't speak Spanish. Everybody better understand this, because if anybody understands family dynamics and even just being a New Yorker, right? Like, because the play does take place around 9/11, like, if you don't know how to connect, you're not watching the play. And everybody in the cast, the crew, the producers kept saying that. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. Like, there are going to be a lot of folks, and it's not just about, white people who don't speak Spanish. I'm like, I got African American folk, Caribbean folk. I got a lot of people from a lot of places around the world who are also part of the global majority who I want to invite to this story, and they don't speak Spanish. And so they were like, okay, good point, but we think if a white person can understand it, so can they. And so I lost that debate only because we didn't have enough outlets to plug in a place to even have the subtitles. So the choice was taken away. And
¿Qué es lo que estamos hablando?
So the whole show is in Spanish.
No.
It's bilingual, but the way it is, it's true to what we see, right? So the parents are speaking Spanish, and the kids are like, oh, but mom, and it's mira muchacho. Like, the responses are what they are. And, I think it really did serve the piece. And I think it needed to happen that way, not just for me to see, but for other creatives to see. Stop molding your work for the commercialization of the things that are out there. When you as an artist are creating something and putting something forth from your heart, it's you who creates the mold. It is the industry that has to mold to the creative juice and gem that you're putting forth, because when the people respond, that means the money responds. And that's the reason why they do what they do. We as creatives, some do it for money, some don't. But once the people show up, it don't matter. I always use Get Out as an example. Very little marketing. Nobody really knew. And once the culture showed up and everybody was like, nah, you got to go see this movie because suddenly it became this wave, and it was undeniable, and it got its nominations, and it didn't do anything that was traditional, So we got to do more of that. We got to stand 10 toes down on our work.
Yo, I'm in the middle of you speaking, I want to drop like 10 bombs.
Then you would have messed it up.
I'm seeing your reflexes.
I can see you like,
And I'm seeing it too. I'm like, should I stop?
I felt like funk flat in my brain. I'm like, I'm like, no, but in my head.
You're absolutely right. Like, it is, and it's hard to say no to those commercial interests and to the industry. It's so hard. So I see you doing work like Vamonos and really committing to what the piece is and who you are as an artist, and to the artists in the room, because the team you had, phenomenal. I love Tatiana, I love Herman, I love Rodrigo, as not only as artists but as individuals and peoples. And the actors you had in your cast were amazing.
Murdered it.
Some of the best actors I've seen in the city.
I will say I had one complaint. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. But no.